Hello, it's Brenda. Thank you so much for watching. Before we get into the actual video, I just want to say thank you so much for your support, for watching my videos and helping me grow my channel. I enjoy this so much. It's been about 2 months now, and really for about a month I wasn't active because we were in the process of buying the new house. So to watch how quickly the channel is growing in such a short amount of time is just really overwhelming, and I am so grateful for it. So thank you so much for watching and for your support. It is Halloween week, so even though I am still unfortunately battling some congestion and I have a raspy voice, I'm just going to go ahead and put the videos out because I really don't want to miss Halloween week. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about the movie The Exorcist because it's a cult classic. You really can't have Halloween without talking about The Exorcist, right? Most people, if you're like me, will watch all of the old, favorites, Halloween favorites at this particular time of the year. And The Exorcist is almost a sure win for that. But here's some fascinating information that I myself did not know about the movie, the people that were in the movie, and then, of course, the people that inspired the movie. So let's start with the priest, or one of the priests, that it is believed to be really the inspiration behind the movie. The movie came out in 1973. Still going strong to this day, and there's been other remakes and other versions of it, but the original has really held its own even to this day. Well, this particular priest, Malachi Martin, who was from Ireland and is truly believed to be the inspiration behind the movie, he died in 1999 from head trauma. This is wild, okay? I had no idea. Allegedly, he was hired to go to Connecticut and do an exorcism of a 4-year-old child. And the source, who I would tend to believe because it was his friend, but also a CIA agent by trade, he states that the priest, his friend, told him he sustained the head trauma when he first met this child, who said to him, "So you're Malachi Martin, you're the one who's supposed to help me," or, something to those words. And the priest said he was then pushed by unforeseen forces. And from that, he sustained head trauma and then died. So that's just crazy. Also, there was another priest who, his last name was O'Malley, I believe. He played a priest in the movie, but also in real life, he was an actual priest, which I didn't know. Priest slash actor. Who knew? So following the movie, several years later, many years later, he was accused of sexually assaulting some of his students in the school where he was teaching. I just thought that was just kind of crazy that, all of these things were kind of, surrounding this movie. On the day of filming, on the first day of filming, two of the actors had immediate family members pass away on the first day of filming. And post-production, two actors passed away, including the woman that played the mom in the movie. That's just crazy to me. I'm not even sure that she made it to the release of the film, although she may have. But I know that the other actor did not even make it to the point where the movie was actually released. He died. So that's just a lot of coincidences around one film. But let's look at what the film was based on, the actual story that the film was based on. So the person, the boy, in real life, in the movie, it was a girl. We all know, played by Linda Blair. She did a phenomenal job, but in real life, it was actually a boy, and he was, 13 or 14 years old. His name has always just kind of been given pen names, and usually, for the most part, I think it's Roland Doe is kind of how you'll see him um, written as, but that, of course, was not his real name, and they have never actually released his real name. I believe he's now an adult, he's married. I heard, I didn't hear, I read that he actually got married and ended up naming his child after a saint that he believes helped him overcome his possession. But by accounts, he went on to have a normal life after this whole crazy experience. So in the late 40s, 1948-ish, his aunt had passed away, and he was very close to his aunt. And she was a spiritualist. So she would talk to him about these things. She kind of was a mentor to him for sort of her beliefs. And his parents were not of the spiritualist faith, but his aunt was, and he was extremely close to her. So she ends up passing away, and he is just devastated. He's completely devastated. So in 1949, I believe, and I believe at this point he's definitely 14, he starts exhibiting really odd behavior, or at least he's expressing some odd things that are happening around him. That he's hearing scratching, water's dripping randomly, just really odd things. And at first, I think that his parents are just kind of not really alarmed. They're just like, this isn't terribly upsetting. But it progresses, and it progresses quickly. Oh, and I should note that at this point, they lived in Washington, D.C. So as he begins to exhibit more and more strange behavior, and he is complaining more and more of hearing scratching and noises on the floor and the walls, and then goes as far as saying that like his mattress is shaking, and the parents now are paying attention. They're saying, okay, this is something. So they end up like taking him to doctors, psychiatrists. They take him to their priest, although I don't believe that they were Catholic, so I'm saying priest because that would be my background. So that's just, kind of where I go to automatically, but more than likely it might have been like a minister or something. And they are eventually kind of sent to a priest, even though that's kind of outside their faith, because they're all kind of agreeing at this point. I don't mean all agreeing. I'm saying that the religious community is agreeing that they need to seek out some exorcism, rites of exorcism. And so this happens. And so the priests come and they're praying over him, and they're doing whatever it is that they do during an exorcism. And he is so irate as the religious people are there and they're praying over him, and he lashes out by taking a metal spring from his mattress and slashes the priest, leaving an injury. And so they're like, you know what? Like, we're done. We're not coming back. So the child actually starts like waking up with like scratches all over him, and they end up finding like scratched into him what they believe to say Lewis. And the parents take that to mean that they are to move to St. Louis because they have relatives there. And they took that as a sign that that's where they're supposed to go. Now, me personally, if I'm like calling in an exorcism for my child and they have like scratches happening randomly on their body, I wouldn't take that as, like an angel sign that we should move somewhere. I would take that to think it would be the devil's work, but who knows? They end up going to St. Louis, and there they, so sorry, there they end up calling in more priests. And these priests are determined. They are bound and determined to take care of the situation. The child, Roland, is escalating in his behavior. He is cussing. He is screaming out, profanities and abusive language at the priests. And he's just full of, scratches and wounds. And according to them, like they're seeing his mattress shake, and it's just like absolute chaos is happening. But lo and behold, they end up literally like just bombarding him with religious artifacts like crosses and statues and like what have you all over his body. They're praying and praying and praying. And just like that, in February of 1949, he just is like, okay, it's gone. It's gone. And then apparently had no further issues, like no further issues. So unlike the movie, which obviously is based on this case, but has a lot of Hollywood liberties taken with it, there was no accounts of, him spewing green stuff and like all of that sort of thing happening. But he was obviously, he was very irate, when they would pray. And so he would spew profanities at them. And the more that they would pray or they would show him religious artifacts, the more that he would physically and verbally lash out at them. But supposedly it was successful. And at like 10:30 or 10:45 at night in February of 1949, he just verbalized, okay, it's gone. And that was that. Like, end of exorcism, end of possession, end of everything. And then he just went on to live a perfectly normal life. So that's just fascinating. The fact that it ever was a real thing, the fact that this person or this child actually existed, that this whole situation existed. But even more fascinating is all that happened surrounding the film of it later. You figured there was a great chunk of time between the actual situation, which was in 1948-49, and the production of the movie and the release of it, which was 1973. But still, it seemed to harbor some kind of negativity around the film because those are some pretty serious things that happened. And I know there are coincidences, and in any group of people, somebody is sure to have some kind of, tragedy or bad thing befall them. But, multiple actors, the priest slash actor, the priest that it was kind of inspired by, to have such huge things happen, deaths and accusations of sexual abuse and, death again, but in that bizarre situation that he died while going to perform another exorcism as recent as 1999. That just, I don't know, it blows my mind. What about you guys? Do you think that that's just all coincidence? Do you think that's something darker? I don't know. I was fascinated by it. I loved the movie, I was fascinated that it was based on a true story, and then to kind of read these tidbits of information that I myself didn't know, I was just kind of really blown away by it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe because it means a lot to me. It helps me to grow and it helps me to know what you're interested in. If you like the content that I'm sharing, if you want to change it up. Also, always feel free to maybe ask for a specific topic and I'll be happy to research it, talk about it. You're always welcome to message me if you don't feel comfortable putting anything in the comments. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm so excited about this being Halloween week. If you learned anything that you didn't know in this video, let me know. If you know anything that I don't know that I didn't mention, also let me know that. So thanks for watching. Bye.